I also decided to take a quick flight to Alberta because it just wasn't cold enough here. So it's around minus 35 there when I touched down, and it stayed like that the entire week to the point where you blinked your eyes and they froze together. Like, I mean, your eyelids would literally freeze
That's a good
together.
way to not have to see Alberta. But
it was grim. Like, as the plane's coming in, it was kind of like...
Just kidding, Alberta. We love you. Keep listening.
Yeah. It was kind of grim, though, because, like, you're coming in, and at that temperature, it was evening. Everything was kind of, like, gray tone, black, and the smokestacks on every building. Like, you don't realize it during the daytime here because it's not cold enough, but there is warm air coming out of the top.
It's condensation that'll
Exactly. So every single building in Alberta, you can just see these giant plumes of smoke, it looks like, coming out of the top. But anyways, I went there. I was just visiting some friends, and the one thing I will say, like, in this, always being in this like mode of real estate, driving around there, because they have a very different landscape. That city is very widespread. It is a big city, but they were similar size to Halifax, not like maybe 30 years ago.
Were you in Edmonton or Calgary?
Calgary.
Yeah.
And it's interesting to see how, like, a lot of their neighborhoods that are closer to downtown, they're doing the same thing where they're tearing down 5 houses in a row, putting up like a small 5-story building. And every single corner house, I swear to God, like every one in every neighborhood, if you're on a corner lot, your house is getting torn down and they're putting up stacked townhouses or corner townhouses.
Yeah, I was not really familiar with the idea of infill housing until I went to Alberta because... when that land was initially developed, some of it would have been farmland, but you had big sprawling open spaces, so people would do things like build a ranch house.
Yeah.
What we may call a bungalow, but a one-level, long, wide. So as a result, you got these lots that were 200 feet wide.
Yeah.
And people then said, okay, where the market is, I will knock that house down and at least build 2 houses, if not 4. Right?
It's so easy to see.
Yeah, you drive around Alberta and you'll be like ranch, and then tall, narrow houses, semis and stuff like that.
Alberta's funny because the farming industry is so prevalent out there because the land is so flat, contrary to popular belief for people who haven't been to Alberta. But you drive into the city, and when you're coming in, you're going through like absolutely pure farmland, and then slowly as you get closer, there's these subdivisions, but like you're saying, they're 200-foot wide lots. And then as you go in a little further, those subdivisions now, those houses are getting torn down, and now they're going to the 50-square-foot lot or 50-foot wide lots. So a standard subdivision. And then as you continue, it's still more subdivisions, but now those houses are getting torn down to have corner townhouses, or the building or the houses are getting amalgamated to turn into apartment buildings. Right. It's so easy to see because of the shape of the city is basically a circle in the middle of a giant field, effectively.
Yeah.
So when you drive
closer to the core,
and as you drive closer to the core, then right when you get to the core, obviously it just goes to big giant buildings, which 50% of, or probably 60% of which are empty. And now they're in that same mode of taking office buildings and converting them to apartments because they have massive office buildings, and they're all, not all, but again, 50% plus are empty.
Wow.
But yeah, anyways, it was when I was there, I was like, this is hilarious. Like, you can literally within 30 minutes see the progression of farmland, like loose suburb, very like not dense, then dense suburb, then apartments, townhouses, and it just keeps going.
And then super density right in the core where you go up.
Yeah.
Yeah. So. No, it's really cool with that relationship between the core and the periphery, and how areas that were once the periphery become the core, and then how that changes what you do with that land, and so on and so forth.
Thanks for watching that clip from Master Keys Podcast. Check out that full episode here. Don't forget to subscribe, hit the like button, and share our podcast.
When I was broke, I had rich habits. When I was broke, I had rich habits.